U.S. senators took a military aircraft to Taiwan to announce the vaccine donation. To Beijing, that is a major provocation. Editor's note: CNN will be launching the Meanwhile in China newsletter on June 21st, a 3 times a week update exploring what you need to know about the country's rise and how it impacts the world. Taiwan is finally getting much needed help from the United States to fight its spiraling coronavirus outbreak. But to Beijing, the offer is a major provocation that risks escalating both the cross-strait and U.S.-China relations. A delegation of U.S. senators visited Taiwan on Sunday morning local time to announce the donation of 750,000 doses of Covid-19 vaccine. Taiwanese President Jae-In called the vaccines timely rain for the island, which has only vaccinated 3% of its population and on Saturday recorded its highest daily COVID death toll of 37 fatalities. It was critical to the United States that Taiwan be included in the first group to receive vaccines because we recognize your urgent need and we value this partnership, Senator Tommy Duckworth said during the third-hour visit. The donation is likely to draw the ire of Beijing, which has bridled at Taipei's apparent refusal to accept its offer of Chinese-made coronavirus vaccines. Taipei, on the other hand, has accused Beijing of blocking its effort to purchase vaccines internationally rather than trying to help. When delivering his welcoming remarks to the U.S. visitors on Sunday, Taiwanese Foreign Minister Joseph Wu again criticized Beijing. While we are doing our best to import vaccines, we must overcome obstacles to ensure that these life-saving medicines are delivered free of trouble from Beijing. Taiwan is no stranger to these kinds of obstruction, he said. But the biggest poke in the eye to Beijing is perhaps not Wu's comments or the vaccine donation deal itself, but the U.S. military aircraft parked on the runway. The U.S. senators are seen in front of the U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster III fighter upon their arrival at Taipei's Songshan Airport on June 6th. The American delegation arrived at Taiwan's Songshan Airport on the U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster III fighter, a primary strategic lift aircraft for the U.S. military. Previously, U.S. officials and politicians had flown to Taiwan on the C-40, a military version of the Boeing 737 commercial airliner, according to Taiwan's Central News Agency. The presence of a U.S. military transport plane capable of transporting troops and cargo, including artillery, battle tanks, and helicopters, in Taiwan is likely to spark a restoring response from Beijing. Already, the state-run nationalist tabloid Global Times has lashed out at the unusual choice of aircraft. They want to make the landing of C-17 in the island a fact that must be accepted by the mainland, paving the way for the U.S. and Taiwan to further escalate their collusion, it said in an editorial Sunday. In a separate report, the newspaper quoted Lo Xiang, an international relations expert from a government-backed think tank, as saying the visit was the most serious provocation from the U.S. since Biden took the office, and that the mainland will not sit idly by. Previously, Chinese state media has threatened against the presence of U.S. military aircraft in Taiwan with war. Last August, amid the reports a U.S. Navy spy plane might have taken off from Taiwan, the Global Times said Taipei and Washington were playing with fire. If the island has made arrangements of takeoffs and landings of U.S. military jets, each crossing the Chinese mainland's red line to safeguard national unity. This will be very serious, he said on the editorial on August 31st. If the mainland has conclusive evidence, it can destroy the relevant effort in the island and the U.S. military aircraft that land there. A war in the Taiwan Strait will thus begin. In its Sunday editorial, however, the Global Times seems to have toned down its war talk, calling instead for prudency in Beijing's response. We have the actual freedom to take actions that we believe are necessary. What we need to consider is that the effect must be positive and political benefits must outweigh the cost by far, he said. The big moment. Students in the Chinese city of Fuzhou cheer before taking the National College entrance exam on Monday. Attended by millions of high school students each year, the two-day exam is considered the most important and the most stressful test Chinese students will take in their academic lifetime. Beijing's China must remove the Tankman images on Tiananmen Square's anniversary. Microsoft says human error led each search engine to block images and videos of Tankman. The photos were taken down globally from Bing on Friday, the 32nd anniversary of China's brutal crackdown on pro-democracy demonstrations in and around Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Tankman refers to the unidentified protester who defied a column of tanks advancing on the square. The images of the encounter have become iconic. The Microsoft spokesman said they were taken offline by mistake. The images reappeared around the world outside of China on Saturday. Bing, unlike its major competitor including Google, operates within mainland China. That means Microsoft is forced to cancel search results from Chinese users according to Chinese law, particularly images and information about the Tiananmen Square protest and the killings that ensued. China's internet censorship typically ramps up in the weeks leading to the event's anniversary. Hundreds of people were killed on June 4, 1989, in central Beijing. The massacre made headlines around the world, as did the images such as those of Tankman. Although China's censorship typically pertains only within its borders, Microsoft accidental global takedown isn't the first time Tiananmen Square information has been blocked outside mainland China by a foreign company. The FBI in December accused a former Zoom employee of participating in a scheme to cancel meetings on behalf of the Chinese government. Xinjiang, Julian Jin, and the co-conspirator allegedly terminated at least 4 video meetings commemorating of the 31st anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre last June. Most of the meetings were organized and attended by the U.S. participants, some of whom were dissidents who had participated in and survived the 1989 protest, the FBI said.